All right, well, Pepe's, Modern, or Sally's, just saying those three names, and you know what we're talking about.
Pizza, or a Beetz, as the locals call it, and that's actually the name of a new exhibit at the New Haven Museum.
Yeah, and I got a chance to check it out. Take a look.
The name of the exhibit is pronounced a Beetz because so many people often look at the word and call it a pizza or 100 different things. And but the people who know, the people from Worcester Square, know that it's a Beetz.
A Beetz.
A Beetz.
All right.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about the history of pizza.
Well, I mean, the history of pizza, goes back to, the 1800s to 1700s in Italy. It was a peasant food. It was women who basically were taking flatbreads and crushing tomatoes and olive oil and feeding the workers in the field. It was an inexpensive way to feed their families. So women really are responsible for pizza. And of course, as the immigration to the United States started, especially with the Italians, New Haven's was the largest per capita in the United States of Italians. I believe it still is. They came to work at a place called Sergeant's Lock, which was just over in Long Wharf, and spread out. They lived right behind it, which became Worcester Square as we know it today. And of course, bakeries opened up, and the bakeries eventually evolved into pizzerias.
Gorman Bechard knows a thing or two about New Haven pizza. He's the filmmaker behind the documentary Pizza, a Love Story, and the co-curator of this exhibit here at the New Haven Museum. On the day of our visit, the team was still putting on the final touches, but we did get a sneak peek at a few highlights, like this, Frank Pepe's original dough machine.
When you come right down to it, Frank Pepe is the single most important person in the history of pizza in the United States.
Wow.
Without question, he is responsible for pizza as we know it.
Wow.
We also have Frank Pepe was one of the first people to ever use a pizza box. We have the oldest known pizza box from probably 1936 on display.
Wait, is this Frank Pepe right here?
This is Frank Pepe right here.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, and these are some of his co-workers?
Well, this was his nephew Tony, and that right there is Salvador Consiglio, who opened Sally's.
Here's a shot of Sally and his wife Flo from the 1980s. Look at all those pies.
And this was their very first menu. So look at the price, a cheese and tomato pie, which was
25 cents.
25 cents for a small. But then you see weird things like cream cheese and tomato. Cream cheese was the way they basically wrote mozzarella because back then no one really knew what that was and they couldn't pronounce it.
And here's a gallery dedicated to some of the other pizza spots in town.
So this is our memorial wall of places that really do play a part in the history of New Haven of Beetz, but are no longer with us. I mean, one place that people talk about all the time is Palm Beach.
Just don't ask Gorman to nail down his favorite.
It really depends on what kind of mood I'm in. The other night, Francis, who's one of Frank Pepe's grandsons, made me a margarita at Pepe's, and it was, to die for. But then there's the cheese pie at Modern, or there's the tomato sauce pie at Sally's. So it really depends on where my head is. I really do love the three of those places.
So what are you hoping people see as they walk through and what they feel when they come out?
I hope that they come in and have a little bit of a sense of wow, because I think there's some really, really cool things in there. I hope they learn, because there's so many misconceptions about pizza. Like, we'll post pictures and people will be like, well, what's that? Where did that come from? Why is it called that? We hope a lot of those questions will be answered. I think it's always nice to know where things come from, and this will really tell people where their favorite food comes from.
That's great. And so you have time to see it because it's going to be here for a little while.
It'll be here for 2 years, until at least October 2027.
All right. A Beetz.
A Beetz.
All right. Thanks so much.
Of course. Thank you.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Like you said, learning Sally's was a man.
It's
we
a
all
man.
thought it was
I always thought it was a woman.
The exhibit recently opened at the New Haven Museum and will be on display through October of 2027. If you want to check it out for yourself, head to 114 Whitney Avenue in New Haven. For more information, visit newhavenmuseum.org, which, by the way, is a great museum. I had never been there in all these years for
I've
a
never
story.
been there either.
You know, you go to like the Peabody Museum or the other ones, but it's fantastic. There's a lot to see there.
That's great. And again, Sally is a man.
Sally's a man. Whose wife is Flo. They, were like the offshoot of Frank Pepe's, and then Modern it's kind of like they were all sort of related at one time and then sort of opened their own.
It's incredible.
Over the years.
What a history.
Yeah, and actually we had family from New Jersey that came up this weekend and we took them to try them.
Oh, you did?
Everybody's like knowing that New Haven is the pizza capital of the world and people from out of state want to try all the different pizzas.
Love it.